Manic Street Preachers jsou jednou z nejznámějších kapel Británie. Na hudební scéně se pohybují od konce 80. let a za necelé 2 měsíce jim vychází už 12. řadové album. No a několikrát hráli v České republice. Teď se k nám po 2 letech vrátili. Novou desku vydávají Manics necelý rok po úspěšné Rewind the Film.
We recorded a lot of them at the same time. And Futurology came together really quickly. It's very an instinctive album. It's just full of optimism and kind of motion and ideas. It's an album full of ideas.
And do you still get nervous before releasing a new album, or is it just another album, so you know how it goes?
It gets worse because it's harder. You know, we don't delude ourselves. There's a million young bands behind us coming up, you know, and we're on our 12th album.
A aby těch nervů nebylo málo, Nicky si čte všechny recenze.
Some of my favorite music journalists who kind of grew up with us on the Melody Maker and the NME and Mojo, I really respect their opinion, and sometimes they've kind of pointed out where we've been failing a little. So yeah, I've always taken it. Don't take it so much from someone who's just doing it for the sake of it.
Actually can't even get their facts right when they write a criticism of you. Like they'll say that you played 3 songs in a show that you didn't play. So you learn to mistrust a lot of journalism out there.
James je počítačový antitalent, a to v tom smyslu, že na něj vůbec nechodí, nesurfuje po netu, posílá maily, nic. Jak tedy ty recenze čte?
I still read the music press, you know, a lot. Thank goodness that they're still there, otherwise I'd be stranded. But no, I mean, kind of, my wife shows me reviews. Perhaps she only shows me the good ones. Nick prints out stuff for me.
Mohlo by se zdát, že pánové jsou za ta léta na stres kolem turné zvyklí, ale zdání klame a těsně před vystoupením není Jamesovi zrovna do zpěvu.
I become extremely uncommunicative, just very nervous and quite passive aggressive. So there's not much ceremony for me. I just become very, very cocooned in my own world. I still have that same old feeling of, why am I doing this? But usually at the end of the first song I feel great. So it's an acceleration of the emotions which is hard to describe.
After the show we're just so exhausted, kind of emotionally and physically, that we just want to go back to our rooms and, you know, listen to some music, watch some TV and just talk to each other and then just zone out.
Manici spolu hrají dlouho a tráví spolu spoustu času, skoro jako v manželství.
Realize that sometimes you're wrong, and in marriage you've definitely got to accept that you're wrong sometimes. And I think, you know, that probably is the comparison. You know, I kind of in the studio. I used to be a control freak. And I used to be like, you know, no, I get that at home. You know, everything must be like this. But now, kind of like, you know, I'll just leave the studio alone and let Nick and Sean get on with it.
Realise they're just not that important. That the next day comes and you reach a beautiful city and you got a crowd waiting for you and everything's all right. And most of the arguments just surround sport, really, arguing about football or rugby or Formula One. That's where the real nasty stuff comes in.
A sledují teď tedy mistrovství světa v hokeji?
On Eurosport. My wife is a massive ice hockey fan, so she drags me around everywhere to watch ice hockey. But it's too hard for me.
It's actually some good TV footage of him in the crowd. Actually, once where I think it was Nottingham, was it? Yeah, kind of where Cardiff Devils had won. He was in the crowd, just clapping like that.
He was banging the plexiglass. She was going mad.
No a zatímco je jeho žena blázen do hokeje, Nicky miluje uklízení.
I hate cooking. I can't stand cooking. It's just totally against my philosophy. But when it comes to cleaning, keeping the house in order, then I'm as good as it gets.
And if you go somewhere to visit, you know, are you the kind of person that you puts?
Yes, my hotel room. When I leave my hotel room, it's as tidy as when I checked in, if not tidier.